Hey guys, it's Idol with Fresh Mark Sense, another fresh review. Today I'll be doing a review on Charuto Tobacco Vanille. Now this is a clone of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, very popular scent. It's got a sort of Christmassy, fruity, dried fruit base, but mainly a tobacco scent, and it circulates around the centralizes around the richness of tobacco, and it's quite a dark scent. It's quite polarizing in that it's quite too strong for some people. I myself find it a little bit strong, but I appreciate the richness of the scent. But I'd like something a little bit more toned down, or add something a little bit fruity or a little bit different, like red tobacco. That's why I preferred that, and I chose that. And I decided to go with a clone of this because I heard that this is a more honeyed tobacco, a more relaxed tobacco, and generally more mass appealing, but it has the same scent structure of Tobacco Vanille, the Tom Ford original. But this scent, literally, it's I'm going to spray it on right now. The notes of this are, it has tonka bean, vanilla, cacao, tobacco as a top note. It has spices in the base as well. I'm just reading off the top of my head, but it's quite a simple fragrance. It gets the vanilla in there. It's a custardy vanilla I get from it, almost like or straight off the top. It's a bit strong with the spices. I choke with mild pepper. I'm quite sensitive to it, so for me, the top in the beginning, it does reveal it as a bit more of a cheap fragrance. I got this for £25, but this Charuto Tobacco, check out this bottle. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. The bottle does look a bit cheap from the lid, but it does actually hold together pretty nicely, so it looks pretty good. But I'm getting that cheap vanilla. It's a bit custardy, but it does the job in terms of carrying the tonka bean and it has more of a chocolatey musk cacao note, musky chocolatey cacao note. The tobacco is like an unrolled rolling tobacco, which is a bit lighter, similar to more hay-like tobacco rather than a dark, earthy tobacco, or it's not too smoky. Let's say, I'd say the original Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. I smelled it. I don't own it. I decided to get the Mandarino Al Mafia. I keep on saying that wrong. It was a previous review. I spelled it right in the actual title, so if you want to copy and paste that, it works. But I bought that instead because I believed it was too harsh and too smoky. This is less smoky and more ambery. I'm getting a very honey-like tobacco. So I'd say it would suit younger ages. I'd say 17 upwards. You know, if you want to go for an introductory tobacco fragrance, this is great. I think it's pretty cool that it has this Che Guevara in it with this tobacco cigar. You're looking pretty tough over there. I don't know what you're thinking when he's looking at me, but I hope he's not. I hope I'm not next. Guy looks serious. Anyway, it's a bit more playful. Honey tobacco is lighter. Get a good vanilla in there. Although custardy and slightly, it doesn't smell cheap, but it is a bit powdery, light, a bit wafer-like. More of a creamy vanilla. But I think it's great that you have a creamy vanilla in there that mixes with the tobacco, a more honey tobacco, so you have a lighter alternative. For me, this is a lighter alternative if you cannot deal with the harshness of the Tobacco Vanille original, which I think it's got its great qualities in itself, but I prefer the earthiness of Tom Ford Black Orchid's chocolatey notes in the truffle and I'd rather have those kind of chocolatey notes than the earthy notes of tobacco. But that's my personal preference. I don't actually like very heavy tobacco scents. I blind bought red tobacco, and I actually thought it was quite overpowering in the beginning, but I sort of just about got used to the tobacco scent. But in red tobacco, they have an incense note as well that makes it smell like burnt tobacco. So this smells like unburnt rolling tobacco, which makes it more hay-like, as I said before. So I was looking at the other reviews, and they said that they say there changes a lot in this scent, but I find the scent pretty linear, but it does have a sort of aniseed, licorice, smoky vibe of it. It's not a complete smoky like a birch tree or like a resinous smokiness. It's more of a powdery smokiness mixed with the anise and a little bit of that. What's in allspice? Like it's got a tiny bit of nutmeg or something, just to give it a light spiciness, but it's more of like a cinnamon nutmeg spiciness rather than a birch tree smokiness. So it feels like a lighter version, but I wouldn't say it's just lighter. I'd say it's brighter. It's not just toned down. It has more light characteristics like the honey tobacco, more ambery, which makes it not just warmer, but it brings it to the more sunny side rather than a dark sort of smoker's lounge, thick, tarry cigar. So it's definitely more accessible if you want to just get into tobacco fragrances. It's not, because it's not so overpowering in its smokiness. It doesn't have, actually I wouldn't even say it has much of a smokiness, but it does have enough smokiness to change the hay-like, almost vetiver, like dark vetiver scent into a smokiness, to turn it into a tobacco. It's just about a tobacco. Whereas between tobacco and dark vetiver, the scent. It's generally mass appealing. I would say out of scent, I'd give it a. Okay, it's not original. You can't give it. You can't even count it for originality. So next, in terms of scent, I would give it a 6 out of 10, 6 or 5. It's nothing special, but it would fill that gap in your collection if you didn't have anything like that. I like red tobacco. I would say it's a superior scent, but it does have dark qualities, which I'd rather mix a little bit of this with some red tobacco and sort of get the mix right. And I'm going to let you guys into what I've been doing recently. And I have been mixing fragrances. I think I have it on me now. Yes, this is a 10 ml mix. I want to encourage everybody to use 10 ml or whatever little mixers, 2 ml, whatever, and start mixing their fragrances or decant them and start spraying them. So when you're using your decants or 10 ml bottles or whatever, I want you guys to use perfumes that you wouldn't otherwise pull out, because maybe it would have poor longevity but you really like the scent, or scents that make you feel great but you've never reached for them for a while. Get a 10 ml decant. These bottles, I got about 15 for £11 from Amazon, and it's great because it's got great spray and you can top up every 2 hours and stay fresh. And I think it's a great way of using your perfume and getting the most, because a lot of people go back home and look at their perfume collection and say, you know what, I actually wanted to wear that perfume but I didn't today. And you thought, why didn't I just buy a bottle? It's like £1 each. So do that. And the other thing I wanted to concentrate on is mixing scents. I made this little mix myself out of 30 sprays of this, what is it, 6 sprays of this, and 7.5 sprays of this. So to add some smokiness and add some resinous characteristics with this as well. And there's a little bit of fruit and saffron in here, and I like my saffron. So I did that, and I've got a little mix I could use all the time. And I'm actually selling decants now. I'm going to start selling decants because I want to make the most of my perfume. If I don't use it, I want somebody else to use it and enjoy it and have great memories. You know, I'm going to use it as much as I want to, but I don't think I would finish all of my perfume in my lifetime. You know, I got to think about that when I get to 100 bottles, whatever plus. So I don't know, maybe it's not possible, I don't know, whatever. So I'm selling decants of 10 mil. If people like, I'll do like £6 or something of a more expensive fragrance, and I'd also do mixes that I would sell. And I would encourage other people to sell from their bottles decants, because it gives people a great opportunity in the fragrance community to check out perfumes. Sorry, my voice is so dry nowadays. Yeah, it gives people the opportunity to try out fragrances that they would otherwise not even be able to afford, and they'll be able to, I don't know, if they don't like it, they would just waste 10 mil rather than a whole bottle. And there's a lot of if you care about nature and climate change and all that stuff, you know, I'm not really, you know, a full-on hippie or anything, but I care enough to know that there's a lot of flowers and ingredients in a bottle of perfume that it would be a tragedy to just dash this in the bin. I know some people are like, oh, this is what I think about this fragrance, and throw in the bin like, and do some kind of show. But I would think that would reflect badly on me, because I've thrown all this flower that all these people have gathered and all this stuff in a bin, you know. So use your perfume, decant it, and share the love by selling on some 10 ml decants. I'm going to get on with that, and I'm going to sell some other perfume that I don't use, because I want other people to enjoy and spread the love and have more great memories. So whatever you do, take care of yourself and stay fresh, and don't forget to go outside and enjoy yourself, because you only live once. And I really think we should look into ourselves at a time when we don't have jobs and all this, and think of what value we have in ourselves that we can bring out. Perfume is not just about covering up the bullshit or anything, you know. You're not spraying perfume on a piece of rubbish, you know. You're supposed to make yourself better and accentuate your good characteristics through perfume. So we can all better ourselves if we all think about how we can share the love with perfume and otherwise, and how we treat each other and how we project ourselves. So take care of yourselves once more and stay fresh.